Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have stopped with question number 2. So here we'll be continuing with question number 3. Okay. So let's look at the question number 3. For any integer a, what is minus 1 into a equal to? So look here. We have to say that whenever we take any integer a, what will be the answer if we multiply it with minus 1? Okay. So we know that, forget about minus for now, okay? Let it be blank, okay? What if it is 1 into a? The answer will be a, right? Because any number multiplied with 1 is a. So we'll get a. But here, since it is minus 1, we will have minus into plus minus. So clearly, minus 1 into a is minus a, okay? That is what is equal to. So question was, for any integer a, what is minus 1 into a? So what is minus 1 into a? Minus a. So let us test this on numbers, some of the numbers. Minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. Minus 1 into 3 is minus 3. Minus 1 into 4 is minus 4. So like that, minus 1 into a is minus a. Okay. So this is our answer. Next part. Determine the integer whose product with minus 1 is minus 22. So what are they telling us? They're telling us to determine. What does determine mean? Determine means to find out. Okay. So we have to find out the integer whose product. Product means multiplication, right? We have to find out the integer whose multiplication is with minus 1. Multiplication with minus 1 will give us minus 22. Means what? Let me break down the question for you. Look here. We have to find out the integer, okay, whose product, okay, with minus 1, okay. We have to find out the integer whose product with minus 1 is minus 22, okay. Look at the red mark when I am, look at the pointer when I am, look at the red ball, look at the pointer, it's circling, right? Look at this thing when I'm explaining, okay, because I'm explaining everything that's in the question, okay. So look at this. Determine the integer. Determine the integer means we have to find out the integer, so it's blank here, right? We have to find the integer whose product. Product means multiplication, so I wrote multiplication here, right? So I'm breaking down the question now. I'm writing the question in a mathematical way now. Look here. Determine the integer whose product with minus 1 is minus 22. Okay. So let me show you once more. Determine the product. Determine the integer whose product with minus 1 is equal to minus 22. So we have to find out the number which when we multiply with minus 1, we will get minus 22. Okay, minus 22 is from where? From the question, right? So this is what the question is telling us. We have to find out the integer which when we multiply with minus 1 will get minus 22. Okay, so look here, there is one minus sign, so the answer also have minus sign. Now if I take minus number here, it will become minus minus plus. So definitely there won't be a negative number here. We have to take a positive number, right? Why do we have to take a positive number? Because if I take a negative number here, then this negative number and this negative number will become minus minus, answer will become plus. But I don't need that, right? That is not what I need. What do I need? I need to get a negative answer here. So I have a negative number here already. So I have to take a positive number here so that I can multiply plus minus and I can get minus 22, right? So I have to take a positive number here. Now which positive number do I take? Look here, it's 1. Whenever I multiply any number with 1, I get the same number. So what number should I multiply with 1 to get 22? I should multiply 22 itself, right? I should multiply 22 itself. So 22 into minus 1 will be minus 22, right? So that is how you find the answer. Simple method, right? So look at this. What is my answer? 22 is my answer. Why? Because 22 into minus 1 is minus 22. Okay. Now next. 37. Now we have to determine the integer or find the integer whose multiplication or product with minus 1 is 37. Okay, so that is what we have to find out, because 37 is from the question, right? So we are told determine the integer whose product with minus 1 is 37. So determine the integer whose product with minus 1 is 37. So which number when we multiply with minus 1 is 37? So can you see we have a negative number here and we have a positive answer. To get a positive answer, negative number should be multiplied with a negative number, right? Minus into minus is plus. So that means I need a negative integer here. Which integer should I take so that I can get 37? I know that when I multiply any number with 1, I get the same number. So that means I need to multiply 37 with 1. So 37 into 1 will give me 37, right? So let me see what is my answer. Answer is minus 37. Why? Minus 37 into 1 is 37. Because 37 into 1 is 37. 37 into 1 is 37. Minus minus plus. So plus 37. Right? So my answer is minus 37. Next C part, do it as a homework so that the concept of this question will be clear to you. Okay? Same way you have to do C as homework. Now, next question, let's read it. They're telling us to write starting from minus 1 into 5. So we have to start from minus 1 into 5. So starting from minus 1 into 5, write various product. Various means what? Different, okay? Write different products. Product means what? Multiplication. So starting from minus 1 into 5, we have to write different multiplication or different product to show that minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. So we have to start from here, okay, and we have to write all the products so that we can get this at the end. Okay, so let's write. First we start with minus 1 into 1. Why do we start with minus 1 into 1? Because minus 1 into 1 is given in the question, right? So we start with that. Minus 1 into 5 is minus 5. Next is minus 1 into 4. You can see 5 decreased to 4. Then minus 5 will become minus 4, right? So minus 1, don't get confused. Let me explain again. Minus 1 into 5, why did I start with that? Because given in the question, right? Now minus 1 into 5 is minus 5. Next number, minus 1 into 4 is minus 4. Next number, minus 1 into 3 is minus 3. So how am I getting all these numbers? Because after 5 is 4, after 4 is 3, right? So like that, okay? After 3 is 2, so I take 2. So minus 1 into 2 is minus 2. After 2 is 1, so I take 1. So minus 1 into 1 is minus 1. Now after 1 is 0, so I take 0. Minus 1 into 0 is 0. After 0 is minus 1, so I take minus 1 and I get minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. So I stop here. Why? Because I have to show this. Question told me to show this and I showed it here. I showed it here, right? So that is why I stopped there. So this is the answer of the question. What did they tell us again? Look at the question. They told us to take this and to show this. So we took this first and we did a lot of product in between in order to arrive at this answer at the end. So this is the answer, right? So we stop here and this is our answer. Okay, this is our answer. Now next question. So in this question, we have to find the product using suitable properties. Now look here, find the product. Product means the answer, right? We have to find the answer of this using suitable properties. Now we have learned different properties. What are the properties we have learned? We have learned commutative property, associative property, distributive property, closure property, etc. right? In the previous class, right? So using those properties, we have to find the answer to this question, okay? So let's look at this question carefully. Look at this question. There are two parts to this question. Can you see it? The first part is this and the second part is this, right? How do you understand that this is one part? Because it is separated by a multiplication sign. Whenever two things are joined by a multiplication sign, you always treat it as one part, okay? So can I say that this is one part, this is one part? No, this is not one part. Why? Because there's an addition sign, right? So that is not one part, right? So let me rub it once. So I can see that there are two parts to this. The first part is this and the second part is this, right? Now in these two parts, can you see the numbers? 26 and minus 48. Minus 48 and minus 36. So in both the parts, can you see that there is a common number? What is the common number? The common number is minus 48. Minus 48. So here, which property do I use? Look at this property once. Look at this once. Here also you can see that there are two parts. 1, 2. And in both the parts, you can see that one thing is common. What is common? A is common. A. So A is common, right? Common means it's there in both the parts, right? So it's common. So same thing is repeating here. Two parts and one common number. Two parts and one common number. So I can use this formula here. What formula is this? This is the distributive property, right? So let me rub it for you so you can see it clearly. This is the distributive property. Distributive property is what? Distributive property is A into B plus A into C is equal to A into B plus C. So as you can see here, we can treat this as A and this as B. And this as A and this as C, because A should be equal on both sides, right? So this is B, this is A, this is A, and this is C. So using the formula, I can write equal to, this will become, the question will become what? The question will become, A will become minus 48. So A is minus 48 into, as you can see, A is minus 48, right? And into B plus C. So B is what? B is 26 plus C. What is C? C is minus 36. So this is how I write this using the, I wrote this using the property. What property? Distributive property. So let's see how we use it in the question. So now you can see 26 into root minus 48 plus minus 48 into minus 36 can be written as, first I bring minus 48 on this side and minus 48 on this side, so that will become easier, right? So I write 26 into minus 48 as minus 48 into 26, no problem for reversing, right? Because of commutative property. So I write this. After that, I take minus 48 outside and I write 26 plus minus 36. Why? Because this is the distributive property. Which property did I use here? I used the distributive property. Distributive property. Right? So using the distributive property, I get this. So now every time solve the bracket first. So 26 plus minus becomes minus, right? Let me rub it for you so that you can neatly look at it. So this is minus 48 remains minus 48 itself. Plus minus becomes minus. So 26 minus 36 minus 10 is the answer. So minus 48 into minus 10 is, 48 into 10 is 480. Minus into minus is plus. So you get plus 480 as your answer. Okay. So we use the distributive property here. Now let's see the next question. Next is this. Now you have three numbers. First one is 8, second one is 53, and third one is minus 125. Now you can see that if you whenever you have three numbers, what do? You first multiply the first two numbers, right? But here you can see that if you multiply the first two numbers, what number will you get? You will definitely get a big number. And after getting a big number, you will have to multiply that number to minus 125, and that will become another big number, right? So in order for multiplication to become easy, you need to use a suitable property, right? It's mentioned in the question. So what property do you use here? We can use the associative property here. What is the associative property? Associative property tells us that if we write A into B into C, if we have three numbers, then we can multiply this first or this first, or we can even multiply A and C first and then multiply B with it. No problem, because if we shift the places when it's multiplication, it does not make a difference. It is the same answer, right? So that's why we use the associative property. So what do we do using the associative property? We keep 8 here itself, we bring minus 125 first, and then we put 53 last. Why did we do this? Because we know that whenever we multiply a number with another number and that number ends in 5, this number ends in 5, right? So 15, 10, 20, 25, 35, etc. You will always get a number with 0 or 5 at the end. So it will be easier for you to multiply. So first we brought 8 here, then minus 125 here, then 53 here, and then we multiplied 8 and minus 125. So 8 into minus 125 is 1000. So 8 into 125 is 1000, minus plus minus, so minus 1000, right? Then 53 write as it is, then multiply this too. 53 into 1000 is 53,000, minus into plus is minus, so minus 53,000 is your answer. Why did I bring this here? Because I know that when I multiply this and this, I'll get a much easier number to multiply. Got it? So that's why I brought it. And which property did I use it here? I use the associative property here. Okay. So now next one. Next is this. This is again, we use the distributive property here. You can see the question looks like A into B minus C, right? So what is A into B minus C? A into B minus A into C, right? So I use the distributive property here, okay? So let's use. So first I give 7 to 50. Then I give 7 to 2, right? So 7 into 50 is 7 into 50. Then minus sign, so minus sign. Then I get 7 into 2 is 7 into 2, right? First I gave 7 to 50, then I gave 7 to 2. So 7 into 50 minus 7 into 2. So distributive property. Which property? Distributive property. Right? So distributive property. So use the distributive property and open it. Then normal solving. 7 into 50 is 350. 7 into 2 is 14. 350 minus 14 is 336. So normal solving, right? Now the next question. Okay, so we're going to do the concept of multiplication. Now let me explain what the concept of multiplication is to you. Now look here, suppose you're writing 3 into 1. Okay, or let's take another number. 3 into 4. 3 into 4 is how much? 12, right? Now what does this mean? This means 3 4 times, right? 3 4 times means what? 3 fours. 3 fours, right? So 3 fours are 12. This means what? 3 fours are 12. So you can either write 3 4 times or 4 taken 3 times. So look here. Look here. So 3 is taken 4 times. Can you see? 3 taken 4 times, right? So can you see? 3 taken 4 times is 12. So same way, 3 taken 4 times. Now add this 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. So can you see? 3 into 4 means 3 taken 4 times. Add it and you will get this. Or you can even take this as like this also, 4 taken 3 times, 4 taken 3 times. So you can see 4 taken 3 times, 4 plus 4, 8, 8 plus 4, 12. So 4 taken 3 times also is 12 itself. So can you see that both of these are 12? So that means this is the concept of multiplication. concept of multiplication means what? Multiplication is actually addition itself, right? For example, if you write 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 4. So how do you say 2 2s are 4? What does this mean? This means 2 taken how many times? 2 times. 2 taken 2 times. Okay, so 2 times you take 2, what do you get? You get 4. 2 plus 2, 4. So let me show you another example. 5 into 3 is 15, right? 5 into 3 is 15. So what does this mean? This means 5 3s are 15. So 5 3s means what? 5 taken 3 times. 5 taken 3 times. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is what? 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. So did you get 15? So yes, multiplication is actually addition itself, but we're expressing it in a simpler way. So 5 into 3 means 5 3 times, or this one can be ulta also. 5 3 times, then what? 3 5 times also. 3 5 times also. If you take 3 5 times, let's see. 3 3 3 3 3. So I took 5 times. Now add it and see. Add it. Add all of this. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 3, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. 12 plus 3, 15. So did you get 15? Yes. So this 5 3s are 15 means 5 taken 3 times or 3 taken 5 times. Okay. So multiplication, example, 5 taken 3 times or 3 taken 5 times, you get 15. So this is what is the concept of multiplication. So multiplication means you are actually adding, okay? You are actually adding. Multiplication is actually the concept of addition itself. So this concept you have to keep in mind when I am going to explain the further questions, okay? Now before explaining the further questions, I want to show you some more examples also. Now look here. If I tell you that one mango, okay, one mango is ₹5, if I tell you, then can you tell me how much money will be of 2 mangoes? So one mango is ₹5, another mango is also ₹5. So how many rupee total? 10 rupee, right? So you know that, right? So look here, one mango is ₹5, then 2 mango will be how much? 10 rupee. 3 mango will be how much? 15 rupee, right? 15 rupee. So can I write this clearly once? So I'm telling you, one mango is ₹5. Then 2 mango will be how much? 10 rupee. 3 mango will be how much? 15 rupee. So can you see something is going on here? One mango is ₹5. So 2 mango will be how much? 2 into 5. 10 rupee. Can you see that? Then one mango is ₹5. Then 3 mango will be how much? 3 into 5. That is 15 rupee. Can you see that? So one mango is ₹5. Then 2 mango will be how much? 2 into 5 rupees. 3 mango will be how much? 3 into 5 rupees. Why? Because 2 mango means what? 2 taken, 5 taken 2 times, right? 5 rupees taken 2 times. 5 rupees taken 3 times. 5 rupees taken 4 times will give us 4 mangoes price, right? So that is what the concept of multiplication is. So you need to know where to use the concept of multiplication before solving the rest of the questions, okay? So let's solve the rest of the questions. So let's look at the question. A certain freezing process requires the room temperature to be lowered from 40 degrees Celsius at the rate of 5 degrees Celsius every hour. What will be the room temperature 10 hours after the process begins? Okay, so this is our question. Now let's understand the question. Let's break down the question and understand it. Given to us that a certain freezing process. What is a freezing process? Freezing process means to freeze something, right? So that is what freezing process is. Like for example, you're making an ice cream. So what process is it? Freezing process, right? So you're making kulfi, or you're making or you are cooling down the Pepsi. So what is the process? It is a freezing process, right? You're freezing it, you're cooling it down. So like that itself, a certain freezing process. What do you do when you want to freeze something? What do? You go and keep it on the gas? No, you keep it inside a fridge where the temperature is low, right? Where the temperature is very low, right? Now what do you mean by low temperature and high temperature? Now look here, when you are sick, what do you say? Your temperature is very, very high. Why? Because you're feeling very hot, your head is very warm, so that is what temperature is high. But at the same time, when it's a very cold day, what do you say? The temperature is low. That means the temperature should be less, right? So when the temperature is low, it means it's cold, and when the temperature is high, it means it is hot, right? So a certain freezing process. Now this process requires what? This process requires that the room temperature be lowered. Why are we lowering the room temperature? Because the more we lower the room temperature, the more colder it will become, okay? Because the more we lower the room temperature, the more colder it will become. Lower means colder, right? And higher means hotter. So that is what the concept you have to understand here in this question before doing it. So they're telling us a certain freezing process requires the room temperature. Room temperature means the temperature in that room, right? So the temperature in the room is 40 degrees Celsius that is given to us. Look here, room temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. And in order to make that freezing process, we have to lower the temperature at 5 degrees Celsius every hour. So in 1 hour, they are decreasing 5 degrees. Can you see this? In 1 hour, they are decreasing 5 degrees, right? So in a certain freezing process, the room temperature needs to go from 40 degrees Celsius. We have to lower it, right? And how do we have to lower it? We have to lower 5 degrees Celsius every hour. So 5 degrees Celsius हमें हर hour में कम करना है, which means we have to decrease the temperature 5 degrees Celsius every hour. Okay, what will be the room temperature 10 hours after? So like that we have to decrease it every hour, and we have to see what will be the room temperature at the end. At the end means after 10 hours. Okay, so let us look at this once more clearly. You can see that the room temperature was how much? Room temperature was 40 degrees Celsius, right? Now every hour they're decreasing 5 degrees. So in the first hour they decrease 5 degree. In the second hour they decrease again 5 degree, again 5 degree, again 5 degree. How long will they go on that for? They'll go on for 10 hours, because given in the question we have to look for 10 hours, right? So how do we get 10 hours? 1 plus 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 1 gives us 10 hours, right? And in this 10 hours, in the first hour they decrease 5 degree, then again 5 degree, then again 5 degree decrease, then again less 5 degree, again less than 5 degree. So 5 डिग्री कम करते 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 10 hours के लिए, 10 घंटों के लिए 5 डिग्री कम करते करते what did they get? They got 50 degrees. So let's see, 5 plus 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 5 gives us 50 degrees. So as you can see, in every hour they decreased 5 degrees, right? In every hour they decrease 5 degrees, and when they decrease 5 degree in the first hour, in the second hour, third hour, fourth hour, fifth hour, sixth hour, seventh hour, 8th hour, 9th hour, 10th hour, we got 50 degrees. Total they decreased 50 degrees. So by the end of 10 hours they had decreased 50 degrees. So temperature went from 40 degrees to how much? They decreased it. Decreased means minus, right? So they decreased the temperature from 40 degree to 50 degree. So they decreased it by 50 degree and it became minus 10 degree Celsius. Did you understand how did we arrive at the answer? How did we get the answer? First, what did they do? Again, let's understand again the question. First, they told us that the temperature was 40 degrees Celsius, right? What was the temperature? Temperature was 40 degrees Celsius. Then they told us that every hour they're decreasing it by 5, 5, 5, etc. Right? So every hour, so 1, 2, 3, 4, every hour they are decreasing it by 5. So how many hours after that they have asked us the question? They have told us to find the temperature after 10 hours. So 10 hours, in 10 hours, how did we find 10 hours? 10 hours, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, etc. 10. So 10 hours when we took, then they had decreased, by 10 hours they had decreased 50 degree. क्योंकि in every hour they're decreasing 5 degree. So in the first hour they decrease 5 degree, then in the second hour also they decrease 5 degree, then in the third hour they decrease 5 degree. So first from 40 it became 35, then from 35 it became 30, then from 30 it became 20, 25, then 20, then 15, then 10, like that it decreased and it decreased, total it decreased by 50 degrees. So from 40 degrees they minused 50 degrees. So when they decreased 50 degrees, they got minus 10 degree at the end. So that is the final temperature, minus 5, minus 10 degrees. Okay. So this is how we do the question. So 5 degrees 10 times. They have decreased 5 degrees 10 times. So 10 into 5 is 50. That is how you got this 50, right? So 50 degrees when they decreased it, they got the answer which is minus 10 degrees Celsius, right? So let's look at the question once more. They have told us that the room temperature was 40 degree at first, right? Then they lowered it by 5 degrees Celsius every hour. So in 10 hours they will decrease. In one hour they decrease. See the concept of multiplication I told you before. 1 hour they decrease by 5. So 10 hours they will decrease by how much? You will have to multiply 5 into 10, right? So 5 into 10 is 50. So they'll decrease it by 50. So without writing all those long sentences itself, you can get from the question itself. 1 hour they decreased it by 5 degree. So 10 hours they'll decrease it by 50 degree. So I got 50 degrees Celsius, right? So in 10 hours they'll decrease it by 50 degree. So the room temperature after 10 hours will be, it will go from 40 to, it will decrease by 50, it will become minus 10. So that is how they got minus 10 degrees Celsius room temperature after 10 hours. Okay, next question. Now, next question, let's read. In a class test containing 10 questions. So how many questions are there in the class test? 10 questions total. 5 marks are awarded for every correct answer. So if you write a correct answer, you will get 5 marks. Minus 2 marks are awarded for every incorrect answer. So if you write a wrong answer, you will get minus 2 marks. And 0 for questions not attempted. Not attempted means the questions that you did not write, you will get 0 marks. So what does the question say? The question tells us that there are 10 total questions, okay, just like your exam, 10 total questions. Then if you write a correct answer, you will get 5 marks. If you write a wrong answer, you will get minus 2 marks. And if you did not write any answer, you will get 0 marks, okay. So that is the question. Now let's look at the question. The first part of the question, Mohan gets Mohan gets 4 correct and 6 incorrect answers. What is his score? So Mohan, how much did he get? He got 4 correct answers. Can you see 4 correct answers? So 1 correct answer, we get how much marks? 5 marks, right? From the question we can see 1 correct answer, you'll get 5 marks. So tell me how much, using the concept of multiplication that I taught you, 4 correct answers will get how much? 4 into 5, how much? 20 marks, right? So 1 correct answer he gets 4 marks, right? And one correct answer he gets 5 marks, right? So 4 correct answers you'll get 4 into 5, 20 marks, okay? How? Because 1, 2, 3, look at this. Let me explain clearly. Suppose he got 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, and question number 4. So what are they telling us? Mohan gets 4 correct answers. So question number 1 is correct, question number 2 is correct, question number 3 is correct, question number 4 is correct. So correct answer, they get how much marks? 5 marks, right? So 5 marks for this question, then 5 marks for this question, then 5 marks for this question, and 5 marks for this question. So add the marks, 5 plus 5, 10, 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 5, 20. So we get 20 marks total. So did you get 20? So 5, how many times did you multiply? 5 I multiplied 4 times, right? Or you can say 4 correct questions, you get each question 5 marks. So 4 marks, 4 question, 5 marks. So 4 times 5, you get 20. So this is where you use the concept of multiplication here. Okay, so one correct answer is 5 marks. So 4 correct answer will be 4 into 5 marks, right? So that is how you got 4 into 5, 20 marks. Okay, so the same way he gets 6 wrong answers also. Now for one wrong answer you get how much marks? Look at the question. For one incorrect answer you get minus 2 marks. So for 6 incorrect answers you will get how much? 6 times minus 2. So 6 times minus 2. So 6 into minus 2. That is minus 12. So for one correct answer you get 5 marks. You get 4 correct answer you get 20 marks. One incorrect answer, wrong answer, you get minus 2 marks. So 6 incorrect answers, you get 6 into minus 2, minus 12 marks. So this is where you use the concept of multiplication in these kind of questions. Okay. So 5 into 4, 20, 6 into minus 2, minus 12, minus into plus, minus, right? So 6 into 2, minus 12. So now total marks will be this mark plus this mark, definitely, right? Marks 1 plus marks 2 will be the total mark. So you add them, 20 plus minus 2. Plus minus minus, so 20 minus 12 is 8. So Mohan's total mark is 8 marks. Okay, so you get total 8 marks. So Mohan gets total of 8 marks. Okay, now the next question, next part of the question, Reshma gets 5 correct answers and 5 incorrect answers. What is her score? So same way like we did the previous question itself, one correct answer is 5 marks. So 5 correct answer will be 5 into 5 marks, 25 marks. One wrong answer is minus 2 marks. So 5 wrong answers will be 5 into minus 2 marks, minus 10 marks, right? So total marks will be 25 plus minus 10 marks. 25 plus minus 10 is 25 minus 10, which is 15 marks. So Reshma gets 15 marks, right? So this question is same as previous question itself, only the numbers are different. Now the third part you will have to do is do it as homework. Okay. Now the next question. So since all the questions are almost of the similar type, I do not want to confuse you with more questions in this video. So please, in the next video, we'll be doing the next 2 questions and then we'll be starting with division and we'll be ending the chapter. So make sure that you have studied these questions properly. You have understood what the concept of multiplication is. Okay, so multiplication is a very simple concept, and if you did not understand, please ask it to me and please watch the videos again and again. Make sure that you have made it properly thorough inside your mind. Okay, the concepts are the main thing, so please understand the concepts. Okay, and then try to solve the questions by yourself. Practice a lot, and when you practice only you'll be able to be thorough with mathematics questions. Okay, so please do that and see you in the next video. All right.